this binder right here is important for us to go through and for us to take the hour and go through everything that's in this binder. The reason being is a dog or puppy does not have a sense of time. It has a sense of routine. So the more that you can stay on the routine of this puppy, the better it's going to be for you and for the puppy. So everything that we have done to this puppy to get them to where we are sending them home, from crate training to feeding to the exercise pen, any of that is going to be in this book. So the front is just going to have the picture of your puppy, and then the back's going to have the siblings. So this right here in the front is going to be the temperament testing, and you can look over that later, but you guys got a video. We do the temperament testing at 7 weeks of age, because every week these dogs change. I mean, every day you go out and they're doing something different. All the puppies, usually in the litter, are very similar, because the same mom, the same dad, and they've been raised the exact same way. So, and if there's one puppy that might be a little more shy, we work with that puppy, but that does not happen very often. So one might be a little more outgoing or more confident when they come in the room for temperament testing, but they're all raised the same and same mom and dad. And so that makes the big difference of them being very similar in the temperament testing. This right here is going to be a picture of the mom, all the certifications. It's going to have the AKC certification, and it's also going to have the OFA's certifications on that, and the genetic testing of the mom, and it's also going to have the picture of the dad and all his certifications. Now the dad has 2 certifications. He's registered in the Kennel Club and also AKC. So we put both certifications in there, and the OFA certs. We do the best we can to raise the perfect dog. The rainbow dog is what we call it. We're not perfect, meaning that we try to be perfect, but we will never, ever genetically put a carrier with another carrier. We won't ever. That's why it's so important for us to genetically test all our dogs. We will never do it. Whether we think it's going to be the cutest puppy in the world, it's so important for us to genetically test all our dogs. Even if we bought a dog and it's been genetically tested, and we buy the dog, we genetically test it again just to make sure that it's all up and up. Sure. So we're very, very, very cautious about that. We're very cautious about Cavaliers have heart issues. We ultrasound our Cavaliers. They have eye issues when they're 8 weeks old. We take them to an ophthalmologist and get them approved. And if they're not, they're out of our breeding program. So, you know, there's a lot of things that we put time and money into these dogs to be able to breed them the way we want to do that. We're up front. We put everything in here that the dog has had. So the next one is going to be the weigh chart. And this chart right here comes with the puppy. So when I say that, if the puppies are at my house, we move them over to Rhonda's house, this weigh chart follows this puppy. The minute that they're born, we put up on top, we put the number that it was born. And some people, it's very important for the number that it was born, you know, firstborn, the birth order, you know. We always put a collar color, so that follows the puppy all the way through. And so it's important also because we mix the litters sometimes. And why we mix the litters is because it's just more socialization for them. How to get along, who's going to be the alpha, how to deal with the dog that is being the alpha, things like that. We weigh them every single day for at least the first 20 days of their life, because we do not know if they're sick, if the mom doesn't have enough milk let down. So it's only by weight that we can tell if something's going on. We do something called early neurostimulation, which is also called super dog. And on day 3, we start that. So we put them on ice packs. We hold their head up like this. We put them on their backs. We put them upside down, and we put pressure on one paw really, really hard. So they don't even have their eyes open. They don't even like us really touching them because they're not used to people touching them. So they're kind of tensed up. But by 16 days, they're used to us handling them. They don't like the ice pack. They want to crawl off, things like that. But after 16 days, we start puppy massage, and it's so, so important. The one thing that we've implicated, we have gotten a rotator toothbrush, a cheap one, and we do their face because it's like grooming, and their pads. It's a cheap, battery operated, and we go like this, and then we put it on their paws and stuff like that. But every single morning, these guys get puppy massage, continue puppy massage. do it forever, life, right? So they get bigger and they don't like being on their back because their body has changed and their weight has changed. So they're going to be like, oh, you're going to drop me. So you got to make them do it. Hold them tight and then just wait till they kind of relax and then scrub their chest and their belly and just have, and then you can tell that their paws kind of relaxed and things like that. We also groom these guys. We trim their nails the day that they're born because it can make the mom have little marks on them, their skin, because they need. And so we trim their nails right away. Dr. Sky came and examined them. I work with Dr. Sky and she comes to the house. She examined all of them and she gave them their first vaccine. So the first vaccine is right there, the sticker, and their updated weight, anything that she found is on this sheet. Take this binder to the vet clinic. Do not forget it. Because if they call Smoky Point Animal Hospital, they're not going to get any information because my chart would be so thick. We have the information, but they do not. The vet clinics appreciate this book because everything is in it. Why do we say make an appointment for you to go to the vet clinic? Because this dog just got examined on Monday. 2 reasons. One is that 4 ears are better than 2, and 4 eyes are better than 2 eyes. So we want to be on the same page as you guys. If Dr. Sky didn't find something, a heart murmur or something like that, we want to know about it. And we want to give you a healthy, happy puppy. And so we just want, it's kind of like a car, but it's with a dog. And we want you to be, happy. And we want to be happy. I mean, if there's something going on, we want to know about it. Another thing is bring this into your vet, or they might have their own form. They need to fill this out and you need to get it back to us. We'll staple this onto your contract. We'll have ours, Dr. Sky's, and we'll have yours from the other vet. This is just benefits of the early neurostimulation, so the super dog. Just a few quick things about it. The military doesn't. They do it to all their dogs. And so it has a lot of benefits for the puppies. And so this handout tells you why it benefits the puppies. And then puppy massage. I sent you a video. Did everyone get the video? It's good because you'll have the video and you'll also have that. And when I did the video, you'll see me pulling the tail, and I pull the tail. The reason why I do that and the reason I pull those ears is because you have little kids and they come and pull the tail. This dog is non-reactive because they've had it done since they were 16 days old. Vaccines, the protocol is 8, 12, and 16 weeks. And this is why this binder is also good to bring into your vet clinic, because some breeders start at 6 weeks. We do not believe in over-vaccinating. We think that 6 weeks is too soon because the immune system passes on from the mom. And there's a titer level, and so you vaccinate and then it goes down to that titer level. The protocol is 8, 12, and 16 weeks. Parvo is highly contagious. That's why breeders start a parvo vaccine at 6 weeks. We just are very cautious with our dogs of who comes in, anything like that. We're very, very cautious about that until they're vaccinated. And the fully vaccinated dog is 16 weeks is a magic number for you guys. When I say that, you'll have the last vaccine at 16 weeks for parvo. Okay, so don't put them on a surface that you are unfamiliar with. You can't take them to dog parks or baseball fields or the front yard if you don't know where stray dogs or any coyotes. That's another thing. We have a problem with coyotes, right? It's a canine derivative disease. So good question. Raccoons, they don't carry parvo. Mainly dog, they carry the virus. What the scary part about parvo is that the virus lives in the environment 7 to 10 years. Oh, wow. So it can hang out. So a coyote can shed that by the saliva or stool, and it can shed that virus, and then it can just hang out on the surface until the dog comes and sniffs that area, and then it attacks the dog. It's not as much airborne as contact. Okay. Yeah. And so it's just really important that you just know where this puppy's been. If the dog is in an area that you don't know where the other dogs have been, don't put it there until after 16 weeks. There's a lot of other things that you can do to socialize this dog. And I'm going to say to you, don't bring your dog here, and here, and don't put it down on the surface. But you can bring your dog to the baseball field or the soccer field, but you just have to put him in this pack right here or something, or carry him. Rhonda loves this thing, and they love it. So you just put it on. You can close it, and they love this pack. This is great too, because you can take this puppy, and if you can't watch this puppy, you are not going to let it run around your home, but you're going to grab this puppy and you can put it in there, do the dishes, vacuum, do anything you want in this. Rondo and I will go to lunch and we'll just grab a puppy from the litter, and we'll have each of us, we'll have a puppy, we'll go to Skookum Brewery, and the puppy will be with us and all the loud noises and things like that. But when it gets whiny, the puppy will never pee on you. It wants down. If it gets fidgety, take your litter box and put it in the car, and then you put your puppy in that and just dump the puppy in there and it'll go potty. Or you take a pee pad and you put it down on the ground, just the surface where it is going to be on that surface. Take a little baggie of these, sprinkle it on the pee pad, and they know exactly where to go. But they don't know a pee pad, but they do know these pellets. So you, in the same sense that I'm saying, don't take your dog and put him on these surfaces, but I'm saying socialize, socialize, socialize. You guys can do that. Continue to socialize, and there's ways to do it, especially since they're litter box trained. Lepto is not given at 8 weeks, but it's given at 12 and 16 weeks. It is a new thing that's kind of going on with Washington State, because lepto has been found in Seattle now. Used to be found in hunting dogs or Eastern Washington and things like that, but it's more and more, it's coming here, and so we're giving the young puppies lepto. So be just aware of that. Your vet will know what's happening in your neighborhood, so just take that recommendation. These are what shots your puppy will need. All these shots your puppy won't need, but it's just kind of a diagram of like, what is lepto, what is parvo, what is bordetella, things like that. So that's just a little handout to tell you the different types of vaccines. This stool check has been done. That's why this book is so important for you guys to take it. It's been done by IDEXX. It's a lab that we use for our vet clinic. It's been tested for every parasite. It will say one name on it, Kai. It won't say your dog's name on it. It is your dog's stool sample. We take random stool samples from the crates. We mix it together, because if one has something, we're gonna worm all of them. Right. So we do something called Worming Wednesday for Coccidia. We used to have a really bad problem with either Coccidia or Giardia at times. We have pretty much eliminated that. We also have eliminated roundworms, because we worm our moms 3 weeks before they have puppies every day and 2 weeks after they have puppies, because roundworms are passed in the placenta. So puppies are born with roundworms. So that has never been an issue since we've done a really good protocol, and we've worked with a veterinarian back east, and it's been really great for our program, because a healthy gut is so important. It just, your dog will thrive. So they're negative on everything. So bring this in, and it just tells you at the bottom that, it's not your dog, it is your dog's stool, but it's the mom. This is about parasites. The most common parasites in our environment is Giardia and Coccidia, roundworms. Hookworm, whipworm, there are some other parasites. We don't have that much of a problem. I mean, your dog can get it, but it's more in drier conditions. Texas has heartworm and whipworm problem. But we have more of a Giardia than Texas, a Giardia problem, because it's just the environment. Your puppy, especially Giardia and Coccidia, their immune system will fight it off when they're older adults. We will randomly test our moms. I have property too, and they run and go in the pond, and we'll randomly test our moms here, and it'll come back that it's positive for Giardia. No vomiting, no diarrhea, acting normal, eating fine. A week later, we'll test them, and they will not have Giardia. So their immune system does fight it off. And don't get alarmed if they might get Giardia or they might get Coccidia. Don't be alarmed of that. It's very stressful for these puppies. This next month is going to be very stressful, because it's going to be change, So, they can get stressed out and have, their gut can get unhealthy. So understanding growth plates, these dogs are fully mature at a year old, okay? So when I say respect their growth plates, I'm just going to say respect their growth plates. It means that you can take your dog hiking, you can take your dog for walks before a year old, but when they lag behind, you got to pick them up. So they will let you know that, hey, they're tired, but they're going to keep up with you because they want to be with you. And especially Cavapoos, poodles. Cavalier will just lay down and say, whatever, you pick me up. But a poodle, they're very athletic. And so they will just want to keep going with you. So just when I say respect those growth plates, just respect them, pick them up, and then carry them. We've seen x-rays, you know, that many times that you'll see that the growth plates, their bones are apart, right? Because their growth plates are still developing. The food, all these guys are pigs. They are pigs. They will grow out of it. They will literally grow out of it. The only time that they won't grow out of it, sometimes if you have the competition of another dog. But if you don't have a competition of another dog, they will grow out of it and they'll go, they'll kind of get picky. Really, I don't need to eat that. You know, don't stress about that your dog is not eating. I mean, just they're going to eat on their own time. Cavaliers tend to be love food. Poodles tend to be more picky. We have put a recipe together that this is how these puppies have been fed. We feed them about 1/3 of a cup 3 times a day right now, because we cannot feed them twice a day. Their belly will get too big. And the nutrients that we need to give them, it has to be 3 times a day right now. We get a formula together that it's 2 cups of the kibble, the hard food, and then it is 1 cup of hot water. We put that on the counter for about an hour, and then we soak it. This is what the soaked kibble is. I'm going to send that home for dinner because you don't have it ready yet.
Right.
And so this will be their dinner. It might be even a little more for their dinner. Why we do this is because we do not want to feed them a bowl of hard food. They eat so fast they will not chew it. They will gobble the hard food up, and it will go in their gut, and it will expand like that, so they'll overeat. So we're expanding it for them, because right now they're very, very, very piggy. Great, it's a great thing because you are going to be able to train these guys being food motivated, and you can get a lot done in that next 8 weeks, because they think they're starving every time that you get this out. Some people, buy slow feeders. I would not recommend that. Why spend money on it? But what you can do if you want them to slow down, which is not a bad idea, go outside, get a big rock, wash it off, and put it in the middle of their bowl, and then they have to eat around it. Then they start slowing down, you can get rid of the rock, because you won't need a slow feeder the whole time. They'll learn how to eat slower. We feed them in their crates because the crate training has been always positive. Wean them from their moms, hands-on, 1 puppy at a time. But when they're able to eat on their own, we put them in their crates, and they just think that they can't wait to get in their crate. I would suggest doing that with their exercise pen, not their crate. You're also going to have the husk. We feed all our adult dogs this and all our puppies. Okay, it's a very reasonable priced probiotic. You don't need to get a probiotic that has liver flavored or anything like this. This has no flavor, so they don't mind the taste of it. We've done this for probably about 9 months now. I went to a couple seminars for gastric vets. They suggested husk. And so we took out what we were feeding Doc Roy's, and we started with husk, and it's worked very well. And so, like I said, we give it to our adult dogs. You can give it for life. It's a great thing to do. And it's a container that's, $17 or $19, and it lasts you a long time. So, and it doesn't get old. The one that I put on that website is the one I like. I've tried other ones. It's more flaky and whatever, but this is really good in their food. So we do it twice a day, so we're going to send that home with you.
Add it to their food or their water?
No, their food, twice a day. So it doesn't even matter when, if you want to do it lunch or breakfast, or it just twice a day. We feed Life Abundance, and we feed lamb and rice, okay? We used to feed chicken. And what happens is, I'm an animal health technician, so I've worked at a vet clinic for over 30 years. It used to be that dogs would come in, and they hardly ever had allergies. Then the years went by, and we've domesticated our dogs that they've become food intolerant. And so chicken is the cheapest byproduct, the cheapest protein that you can put in dog food. So we switched over to lamb. It has been a night and day difference for our dogs. So everybody gets lamb. And you know what? I would start with lamb or beef, nothing, no chicken, no poultry. I would just stay away from poultry, because a dog will come in a year later, and the first question we say is, what do you feed your dog? And they'll say chicken, and we will say, okay, we got to change the food. That's the number one thing we have to do. So we just bypass that, and we just do the lamb and rice. So Doesn't mean that you have to feed Life Abundance. Why we have you order Life Abundance is changing food on a puppy is very hard on the gut. So when you do want to change it, which is later, 6 months later or whatever, this is how you change it. It's very slow. Rhonda and I used to feed another food and we didn't like certain things about it. Rhonda is a retired chiropractor, so she's very holistic and I'm very scientific. So, we can kind of butt heads a little bit and she said, oh no, I don't believe in that. And I'm like, well, I do because they're carnivores and so there's a lot of things that it's good. This food's good because, we agree. I mean, one thing that I never thought of is Rhonda's like, oh no, they heat that dog food up way too high and fast and it's carcinogenic. And, that's one, and I never thought about that, but I did think of what a dog needs for nutrition. So our minds worked really good to pick this food out. And we really like it. It's done really well for our dogs. When your puppy gets kind of tired of that, that food, they'll get tired of it. Then you know what? Just don't soak it anymore, but then just put a little bit of hot water in there and let it soak for couple minutes and then give it to them. Because then they like it. It's a different change. There's different foods that dogs can't have. It's really important. Tons. And people don't understand that it really affects the kidneys and the liver. And it's puppies and dogs. So just be careful, don't feed chocolate, don't feed, certain things, sugar-free things is really bad. There is the poisonous control number that I put in there. They are very, very, very helpful. I mean, sometimes we have to use it at the vet clinics. There's also the poisonous plants. Rhonda and I own every poisonous plant you could think of for a dog. They don't really bother them. Just kind of be out with them. If they see, if they see a rhododendron leaf because it's bigger, they'll put it in their mouth, just get it out of their mouth. But guess what? When they're 6 months old, they won't even care anymore. The only thing that I would say is that we have a problem with mushrooms because in our environment, it's wet. Don't go pick them out of your yard. Doesn't matter. Just stomp down on them. They say what 90% is not toxic, but the 7% that are, I have no clue what ones are and what aren't. So it's just better just to stomp down on them so they're just not curious of them. This is the litter pan that we're going to send home. It fits in the back of the crate. People would ask how much to fill it with. Just don't fill it all the way to the top. You don't need to. It gets messy, right? So have that, have it not filled too full because it gets messy. And same with your big litter box. These puppies never lose this litter box. So you could take it away. They outside trained and some people take it back out. Somebody has 2 dogs of ours in Colorado and they get a lot of snow and they use their litter box in the winter. If you can't let your dog out and you don't have a way for him to go outside and go to the bathroom, then bring the litter box into your house. Or bring it out and they have the option of going in the litter box. They never lose it. A lot of people have motorhomes or boats and they don't want to come into shore to have their dog go to the bathroom. So they bring their litter box and they put it in the bathroom and the dog goes in the litter box. Potty training. So like I said, they're litter box trained, but you are potty training them. Any transition is the best. So after you get them out of the exercise pen, when you get them out of the crate in the morning, take them outside to where you want them to go or the area that you want them to go. Some people live in townhouses and things. They have a big litter box underneath their porch area. They take the puppy out to there and they put the puppy in there and tell them to go potty. So they will get used to any place that you want them to go. Take these, sprinkle it in the area that you want this puppy to go, and they will get it. And if you are very faithful, because routine, if you carry your puppy to an area of your yard that you want them to go to and always to that area when you're potty training them, they will tend to go to that area when they're adults. And these are biodegradable. So sprinkle them in that area and they know. They relate that poop and pee is that's where they're supposed to go. Try to go on the same term. That's not really complicated for this puppy. Be silly about it. Be silly about when this dog goes to the bathroom outside, be silly and give them time to go to the bathroom. Give them time to kind of explore and to go potty. Crate training, really important. This is an example of how the crate should be set up. This is going to be in the back of the crate. And this, you're going to have a blanket in the front, not a fuzzy bed, because the transition for these puppies right now has to be pretty quick. And with a fuzzy bed with the edges, they're kind of clamber over it, and then the bed can get peed on. So, just make that transition different. And another thing is you're going to have a fuzzy bed in the exercise pen. So this is two different places for the dog to be. So you're going to have this crate set up. You're going to have this Snuggle Puppy that has this heart in it. And the instructions are in back. So pressing it once, it has the heartbeat. This comes with it also. We don't use it. Use it for tonight. Maybe it's a little, something different. Never buy these. Just use hand warmers if you want to use it. Yeah. So if you go camping or do something different, you can bring some hand warmers and stick in there. These guys love their Snuggle Puppy. You're going to have this Snuggle Puppy here. You're going to have no toys, no bowl of food, no water. You're just going to give something to chew on, like a bully stick or a pig's ear, and you're going to get some hard kibble, some hard food. So you're going to put 5 or 10 kibbles and kind of sprinkle it underneath. They are looking for that food. So it's kind of a snack. It's a reward. It's not time to play. It's time to go to bed. Yeah. Their dogs are like us. Yeah. They need to go to bed. And so you're going to have that bully stick there, and then you're going to take that hard food and just kind of sprinkle it, make it kind of fun for them to go underneath this Snuggle Puppy and things. Do not forget that food. It's a reward. It's holding them over too. This is the longest period of time that they're going to be in there without any food. So you need to put the crate somewhere where you're not going to disrupt the puppy. You're going to go and you're going to put them somewhere. So not in a kid's room, not in your bedroom. You're not going to put them somewhere that you are not going to disrupt this puppy, because this puppy is not going to, when you wake up to go to the bathroom or get a glass of water or something like that, this puppy is not going to know that it's 3 o'clock and look at its paw and go, it's only 3, I'm going to go back to bed. It's going to go, yes, you are up, let's go. Mm-hmm. So you cannot put this where you're going to disrupt this puppy. Okay. So it needs to be in an area, and cover the top of the crate where they're used to being covered. And the sides are okay. Don't cover the sides because it kind of gets hot in there. And when they get hot, what they'll do is they'll sleep in their litter. It's because it's cool. And people call me and freaking out because they pee in this, but they stop peeing in it and they'll start sleeping in it, and they'll wait to go to the bathroom. And you'll see that this will not turn sawdusty. If this is perfectly like this, they're not peeing in it, and they haven't pooped for a week in it, right? Because they're waiting. So they'll start sleeping in it if they're hot. And that's okay. I mean, it's kind of comfortable. Some will drag their Snuggle Puppy in here and they'll have that. We have one dog that it drags its Snuggle Puppy out of the doggy door in the morning. It's older, and it will be in the yard. They showed a picture of it. It will be peeing and pooping, and then it grabs the Snuggle Puppy and takes it onto the couch. Oh my God. So it loves it. It loves the Snuggle Puppies. Crate. It is the best thing ever to have a crate trained dog. Mm-hmm. And for your dog to like it, at least. It doesn't mean that your dog can never, ever sleep with you. But your dog is not potty trained. It will fall off the bed, and it does not have no sense of height. So just keep it in that crate. And you know what? Don't lose the crate when I say that. So once in a while, when your dog's all grown up and potty trained and things, just keep that crate as an option of using it, because it's great to go to an Airbnb or traveling and things like that this puppy will be used to this crate and like the crate. So this puppy's going to get older, right? And you're gonna have to up the kibble size. I mean, the third of a cup's gonna have to be a heaping third. Mm-hmm. So the 2 ways that you can make it, instead of putting a lot more food in a bowl, put 20 kibbles in here. You're sprinkling it around. It's not in a bowl, and you're gonna put 20 kibbles in the exercise pen. So you've upped the food in a different way instead of giving it in a bowl. Your positive reinforcement again. So you'll see them grow. So at 2 pounds, you need to up the food. Every 1.5 pounds to 2, you're gonna up that food. We also have music in there. We've always had music. People use white noise. Mm-hmm. I don't think it works as well as white noise for our dogs, because we don't have white noise. We have puppy nannies that are teenagers, and they set the tone for the dog. So from rap to classical to whatever, some type of music going, or radio or things. Some people do books on tape. One person called and said that their dog, they got out of the crate. They're like, gosh, we need to go back to the crate. And I said, okay, we'll go back to square one, when the dog came home. They had books on tape, and they were getting it all ready for the books on tape. And the dog heard the sound and ran into the crate because it knew that sound. Dogs are smart. Crating is not a bad thing. It's going to teach them how to be potty trained. You know, it's going to teach them that they can't go running around or fall off your bed, that they have to hold it or either go in this litter box. You will see day by day that they're going to wait to go poop when you go outside, or they're going to wait to go pee. The first couple, maybe a first week, I would say, you're going to see that they're going to use this or not use it. And when you take them outside, they probably just used it if they're not really going to go. But if you take them outside and they're like, oh, and standing there and peeing for a long time, you're like, oh my gosh, good job, way to hold it. So, and that gets better and better. Like I said, this is the longest period of time that they have not had food. The best time to train this puppy is in the morning, because the best time to train your dog anytime is when they're the hungriest. But this baggie, I know if I walked into this room right now, these puppies would know this baggie. We don't have baggies, but we do when we're working with them. And so they know that there's food in here. So my suggestion in the morning, take a third of a cup, put it in a baggie, get it ready for you. So when you go to the refrigerator, grab it out of the refrigerator. Don't let this puppy see it, because it's smart. It's gonna know that it's food. So you're gonna take this puppy out of the crate. You're going to pick him up. You're not gonna let him walk from A, which is the crate, to B outside. You're gonna actually carry him out, put him down on the ground and tell, hurry, go potty, whatever the command is. And you're gonna do in that area. And then when this dog goes potty, this is what you're gonna do. You're not gonna give him one kibble. You're gonna feed him a handful of food, because this dog gets it, that its belly is getting full. Oh my gosh, good job, yay, good job. And this dog's gonna eat fast out of your hand. So you still have breakfast left, right? A dog only needs to be worked with for a short period of time. They have a short attention span, very short. So all you have to do is decide, okay, you know what? This week we're going to work on leash training. So put the leash on the collar, snap it on, and walk around the yard. And this puppy is pulling, dragging it. Don't touch the leash. And it's kind of curious over there. And then you're going to say, Marley, come. Marley, come. Good job. And Marley's going to come to you, because you're working on recall also. And you're going to give a handful of food again. Good job, Marley. Good job. Way to check in. Because we always say check in. Because we'll hike with our dogs and we'll let them go. And we'll call our dogs and we'll go, good job, Marley. Way to check in. Okay, let's go. The big mistake people make is that when they call their dog, especially the first time, they pick them up or do something that they don't like. And then the dog goes, I'm not coming to you. So don't pick them up. Don't do the leash. Not until the third or fourth time that you call that dog. And then say, okay, good job. Breakfast is over. Way to check in. Let's go. You've taught this dog leash training to drag it around. And you've also taught it for recall. And it doesn't want to go in yet. It's exploring and things. So, let it walk around and feed it breakfast. Breakfast is done. It's out of your hand. Same with lunch. You could feed lunch half in the exercise pen, half sit. Good job. Sit. Good job. Sit. Good job. Half that baggie's full. And then let's go in your exercise pen. So it's hungry for lunch, but you're working with sit or down or something like that, something positive. Don't think that this dog's going to do things for you when it's not hungry, but it's always hungry. Right now, you've got a benefit of the doubt, because it is very hungry. It thinks it's hungry. Like I said, it's the longest period of time that this puppy has not had food. So utilize that. We had somebody call and they were saying, oh my gosh, this dog it's whining and barking in the crate. And we're like, okay, that's strange. And it was completely daylight. And the dog wasn't used to being in that crate at that time. It will get used to that the older it gets, because you'll leave it open and it can go in. But they didn't have the exercise pen yet. And so they were putting it in there and the dog was like freaking out, like, whoa, wait a minute. I'm not supposed to be in here. But they usually like their crate, because like I said, lunch, we feed them in their crate and we let them hang out there for a little bit. And then we put them back in their exercise pen. If your husband or spouse or someone gets up earlier than you do, and you don't want that puppy to wake up then, don't get this puppy out of the crate. Don't do it, because it's going to get used to that routine. That time. So if your husband gets up at 4 o'clock and you don't want that puppy to be out playing and he doesn't have time to do anything with them, Don't do it. His inner clock is going to say 4 o'clock is the time he gets up.
Yeah, no.
And it's really the inner clock. If you start a routine, which that person's like, oh, well, I kind of want to do something. So, have them, get them out and maybe throw some kibbles in the exercise pen, and take them out and put them in there. But it's try just to have that routine of that you're taking them out of the crate. We also put a night light in there. It's just kind of not completely pitch dark. Exercise pin. So the exercise pin is something that is so important. Doesn't have to be an exercise pin. It can be a laundry room or a bathroom, somewhere that this puppy is not going to go around your house and pee and poop. That is very hard to your dog be able to be potty trained because you don't know that it's potty behind the couch or things like that. If you cannot watch this puppy, you have to put him in the exercise pen. An exercise pen teaches them so many good things, though. It teaches them how to be independent. It teaches them that the puppy can learn how to entertain himself because he's not going to have the siblings there. It teaches him to still be potty trained, that it has to use the litter box. So it teaches them all such very, very good habits that you need to continue to put them in there. Some people say, well, I've taken the whole week of work off, or I've taken... my husband's going to the gym at 8 and I'm going at 9 or 10. You guys leave the puppy in the exercise pen. It's okay. It teaches them so many good habits that you guys need to leave. And you can leave him for a long period of time. It needs to learn how to be by himself, and to entertain himself. So leave him in that crate. All this puppy's needs have been met. You've fed the puppy. You're going to have water in there. You're going to have a fuzzy bed. Rotate the toys, and the email that I sent you, it has that somebody would dump in toys because she worked. So she'd dump in the toy for Monday, dump in the toys for Tuesday, and it was different each 5 days a week. So just make it fun for them. Put stuff in there for them to chew on because they're teething. This is the only thing that Rhonda and I cannot train because we don't have enough exercise pins or spaces to put these dogs that they're not going to see another dog. And so it's going to be new. And so don't get this puppy out when it's going, help me out of this jail. Just ignore it. So when you ignore it and you do want to get this puppy out, hide behind a wall. And then this puppy's going to be crying a little bit. And then it's going to go fine and get down, come back in and scoop it up. But if you get this puppy out in the act of it doing that, it's going to train you so fast. Just make sure that you don't get him out. He's not dying. The litter box follows the puppy. So that big litter box, if you only have one, you need to take it out of the exercise pen and put it in the middle of the floor right now. That will get better the older the puppy gets. But right now, you need to make sure this puppy sees this litter box or the big litter box. Litter box follows the puppy. Some people work with their dogs, right? We're in an office. Make sure they have a litter box in there. If they're peeing on the floor, it's because they don't know where to go. If they can't see it, the room is too big. The space is too big right now. You have to get that space smaller. Just make sure the litter box follows the puppy. I work for an older veterinarian, and he told Mrs. Smith one day, Mrs. Smith, you know what? You think you're so important to this dog, but you're really not. You're fourth on its list. And he's right. The water, the food, a place to go to the bathroom, and then you. So all those needs are met in that exercise pen. My suggestion is every time you put them in that exercise pen, throw some hard food in there. So throw some kibble in there. So just take, a little handful, and then just throw it in that exercise pen. It'll go all over the place. This puppy will find some of it, and then it'll play with the toy and then go, oh, here's another piece of food. So it's always a positive thing. Just make it fun for them. So do's and don'ts, there's a whole big list. They're pretty self-explanatory. Just a couple of them are that our puppies will get hurt by being dropped by kids and adults. They hold them too gingerly. Puppies are squirmy, and you cannot hurt a puppy when you're just squeezing them really hard. And so have kids usually sit on the floor. And if adults, you see them kind of fumbling around, just say, oh, you need to hold them tighter because it happens so fast. They do not have a sense of height. So do not put them on couches, counters, beds, anything like that. They have a sense of height when they can actually jump on something. So they just don't have that knowledge. They'll kamikaze off. Another thing is some people have open risers. So just make sure that they're clumsy. They're great at climbing, but going downstairs, they're not very good right now. And they might even be reluctant of going downstairs. But they're great at climbing. But open risers are that you can see through the stairs. And some people have them on their porch, not usually in their house, but some people in a townhouse or things like that have those open risers. So just be aware of that because they're just clumsy. So the same thing I'm going to tell you, parvo, 16 weeks, but you need to socialize this dog. Take advantage of it. So use that fanny pack or carry them everywhere and put them in the car. We like a booster car seat for our dogs because we take our dogs places that they get dirty and wet, and then they get your car dirty and wet. So we can clip them in the car seat and they're happy. And right now you can start that with this puppy. Get a car seat that they can see up out of the window. Make it fun. Put a bully stick in there. Put a couple toys in there. So make it fun. Take them with them. A lot of people take their kids to school or, things like that, and it becomes routine. So any socialization you can do is important. So social development, that's just the same thing. It's just socialize is so important. Just make sure that you're very faithful at the 16 weeks. I just want to say that again. Parvo is highly contagious. 30 years ago, I wouldn't say get insurance. There wasn't really any insurance that was good or whatever. Nowadays, totally get insurance. It's well worth it. I interviewed a lot of my colleagues and asked them what insurance company, when your dog has cancer, when people like, and they back you up. Trupanion came up a lot. It's local. They're great customer service, and customer service, I'm all about it. Some insurances you have through your work. It's great. You don't really have to buy minor medical. Vaccines every year are not that expensive to get. Major medical is the most important insurance to get. So the free insurance that we have for Trupanion, sign up for it. There's no waiting period. 2 examples of Trupanion, people using that. One is a dog went home, 3 weeks later got parvo. It was in the emergency clinic for 8 days. It came to $17,000. Trupanion picked up $15,000 of the bill, no question asked. If you go to emergency, sometimes people have to pay with their credit card and then get reimbursed. Yeah. Trupanion, they pay vet clinic right there. If they work with them. Yeah. Right, if they work with them. Major medical is very important to get. I just think it's well worth it. It's a great peace of mind. It's a stage in your life, right, that if I had to pay a $17,000 bill, and I had 2 small kids, because I do have children, I would have had to put my dog to sleep because $17,000 would have been part of my child's education in my periods of life. Now, my kids are older and things, but I'm just saying there's periods in your life that you have to make those decisions, and it's not a wrong decision, it's practical, and so you don't have to make that decision if you get that major medical. $250, you can get a higher deductible to make your premium cheaper. And that's what I would do. I would ask and see how much difference the premium is. I think it's $1,000 deductible is the highest that Trupanion will go to. The stuff that you're saving on the major medical, put it in a jar for vaccines for every year, Rabies is every 3 years after the first year. This article right here, Rhonda's parents, her dad passed away last year in his 90s, and her mom is 90, and they're from Iowa. And they sent this the very first dog we ever bred. It's a great article. A lot of retired people buy our dogs. Dogs help humanity in general, from being at the hospital, elderly people that have to get up in the morning and walk their dog or feed their dog or be held accountable. It's important, and dogs do just a lot for humanity. Yeah. This is just a new puppy adjustment. Pretty soon, by 3 or 4 months, your dog will be owning your place. So by then, but just give them time to adjust. Right? And it's your rules, you guys. Your rules. You're not being mean if you're correcting them. I mean, if they're biting at you because they think it's play, grab their muzzle. Grab their muzzle. If they're biting, especially the kids, no bite. Yeah. And it's the tone of voice too. So it's that grabbing the muzzle. Oh, I don't like that. And the puppy might think, oh, well, kind of that was fun. And go after it again. And then you just, no bite. So it's your rules. Your puppy is microchipped. This is in the back. It's right here. This is the instructions on how to do it. So there is a QR code It's an all-in-one. We love these because it used to be that you had to go to the vet clinic, or you had to go to the Humane Society and get your dog checked. It's better. Buddy ID is great customer service also. They protect your identity, but they also protect your dog. And that you could call them anytime, ask them any questions. This microchip, you put all the information, all your phone numbers that you want, where you live, things like that. Rhonda and our information is way at the bottom. You can never remove it. So if you went out of town and could not get a hold of anybody on that contact list, Rhonda and our phone number is at the bottom, and then we'll go get the dog and find out what's going on. Make sure that you register them when you get your puppy home, and the instructions are right there. This is our motto. Just read through it. So true. I work with a gal that's 80. She's been in the vet business longer than I have. She's a receptionist, but just a receptionist. People love her, and she found this. And actually, it's totally everything that Rhonda and I believe in. So these are Instagram. If you guys start an Instagram, please let us know, and we will share. We try to share information with people. So this is pretty much updated. There might be a few that aren't in there. But yeah, share with the Instagram. If you want a haircut like somebody that's on Instagram, or you see another Cavapoo, take a screenshot out of it and bring it into your groomer. So, because some people cry when they get their dog groomed. Keep them brushed. Yeah. Keep them brushed because they mat. They don't shed, but you got to keep them brushed. The spray that we have on our website, it's the avocado spray. Olivia is one of our groomers and puppy nannies, and she swears by it. Rhonda swears by it. I can barely get my own hair done. I did my hair for this YouTube, so, but the avocado spray, I'm like, really, how important is it? And it really does work. And Olivia says it's for split ends too. I'm like, okay, for the dog split ends, okay. So, but it works. And if they're matty, they get mats on them, they're going to shave them down. It's hard to cut them. Shaving down is okay, but if you don't want them shaved down, then don't do it. I'm going to send, the Snuggle Puppy home with you, which has all the smells, the food, this, and the husk. Don't hesitate to reach out if you have questions, okay? Texting is probably the best way. I work in the mornings at the vet clinic. I only used to work Fridays. Now I work in the mornings and help out with surgeries. So I might see your text and I'm like, oh, it's not an emergency. I'll get back to you. If you don't hear back from me, you're not bugging me. Just say, hey, did you happen to get my text? I'm like, oh, yeah, I looked at it, but didn't text you back. So no question is dumb. No question is dumb. So feel free to reach out. Another thing is, if you feel that your dog is sick and it's dying, you know what? Text me and call me or something and ask, because I kind of know. Most of the time say, is the dog breathing? Is it doing this? Is it doing that? Okay, it's fine. You don't have to rush to emergency. And some people get scared, because their dog's limping and like, oh my gosh, but I'm like, okay, no, it's not an emergency. So don't spend, $800 on an emergency call. Just let's do this and then go from there. So just reach out. So you have that. And we want to know how our dogs are doing, good and bad, good and bad. Like, oh, Charlie's, being bad at potty training. Okay, well, let's figure out why. So we want to know good and bad, and we love seeing pictures and things like that.